Hi everybody, I'd like to welcome you to this week's episode of the Lesson in 5. Lesson in 5 is a weekly program where we summarize the Sabbath School lesson into 5 main points, and we do that in 5 minutes or less. This week's lesson is language, text, and context. 7,117. That's the number of languages that are spoken across the globe. 698. That's the number of languages the Bible has been translated into. You can see there's a huge gap. Imagine the privilege you have if you've got the Bible translated into your native language. And many of us have the benefit of having the Bible in multiple versions. That's a huge blessing. But translation is a huge problem when you try to get an idea or a concept from one language into another. There's a lot of things that you're going to encounter, and it's always best to have the text and the context in mind when you do this. Understanding Scripture. Why was the Bible given to us? Well, Paul in the book of Timothy, 2 Timothy 3:16, says that the Bible has been given to us for correction, to rebuke us, to help to correct us, and to guide us in the way of righteousness. Words and their meanings. Sometimes it's difficult to translate words that are very deep, words that have a broad range of meaning and don't have an exact equivalent in another language. So we've got 2 examples of words that are just like that in the Hebrew language. One word is chesed, the other word is shalom. Chesed kind of refers to the loving kindness of God. The best way to track and get the meaning of this word is to be able to look at the different shades of meanings that it may have in different passages. So look at its usages across different passages in the Bible, and then you may start to come to grips with the meaning of this word. Chesed is usually translated mercy or loving kindness, and reading through the different meanings of this word helps us to appreciate its depth and breadth. Using a concordance may be a good way to understand this word. Another word is shalom, the word which means peace, but this means a little more than peace in the conventional sense, because it also refers to wholeness, completeness, being a full human being. And this is a word that's difficult to translate, but as you look at the different shades of meaning, you're able to get a sense of what shalom means. So a concordance is a helpful tool in studying the Bible. Repetition, word patterns, and meaning. As you read a particular text, a writer will use different tools to direct your attention, to emphasize certain points. We may today have bold text or underline certain phrases that you want to jump out at your reader. Sometimes you could also use punctuation, like an exclamation mark, a comma, a semicolon. These help to provide emphasis to particular words. But the Hebrew writers didn't have the same tools that we have. They wouldn't bold text. They didn't have all capital letters just to emphasize text. They also didn't have punctuation. So the way they kind of directed the attention of a reader to a particular text or phrase or word is they would often use repetition of words and phrases, often use certain patterns to draw the attention of your reader. And one particular device they would use was repetition, repeating words 3 times to bring emphasis. Reading Genesis 1:26 and 27, you see an emphasis of the word created with God as the subject. This is repeated 3 times. Again, when you read in the book of Isaiah, the Bible speaks about God being holy, but it's not mentioned once but 3 times. Holy, holy, holy. This is to bring emphasis to the holiness of God. So repetition is a key tool that the Bible writers used to emphasize certain points and bring to light certain things. So as you read the Bible, look out for repetition, texts and contexts. When you read Scripture, there's certain words that may have multiple meanings. A good example is in Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, you often find the word man spoken about. And it's difficult to see what this word means, particularly because the word man in the Hebrew language is the word Adam. So it may be referring to man as in a male person. It may be using man in reference to Adam as a proper name. Also may be using man in a generic sense. And how best can you pick what it means? Well, context is a very helpful guide. And as you read Genesis 1 and 2 and see the word man, you'll see how context helps to give meaning to the word. So you may see, here it's speaking about Adam. You may see in this case, it's speaking about man in the sense of mankind or humanity. You may also see that it's speaking about man in a generic sense. It's simply speaking about a man. So context is helpful to understanding a text. The immediate context, the words surrounding a word, help you to understand what a particular word means in that context. Books and their messages. The greater context, or the largest unit that you need to understand, is the book. So as you're reading a passage in scripture, remember which book it's found in. That may help you to understand the broader theme or the broader context that you should have in mind as you read a passage of scripture. For example, the book of Genesis was written by Moses. The first 5 books of the Bible were written by Moses. As you read the book of Genesis and you think about Moses writing this to the children of Israel who are stuck in slavery, and God bringing this message as an answer to the questions that may have been going through, it helps to give context and meaning to this book. The authorship of a book helps you to be able to appreciate why this message is written, who it's directed to, and what meaning it had both then and today. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the lesson in 5. If you've enjoyed the lesson in 5, give the video a thumbs up. Just show that you like it. That also helps to spread the message to others that this is a good video. If you're enjoying it, remember to subscribe to our channel, share the channel, share the videos as well. Thank you very much. God bless you, and see you next week.